Hello and welcome, my name is Lynx, we are playing Spirit Sisters, and it is time for another chapter, chapter 10, called The Vatican. Can't say it's a place I'd like to visit, to be quite honest, but I guess we are doomed to do that today. The scene opens up within the white roll walls of the Vatican, echoing footsteps. Within this enclosed building, a girl in handcuffs is taken in by the Vatican's central guards. Handcuffs? Are you kidding me? Wendy, after being arrested for involving herself with an evil god, is escorted by the guards to meet with the Pope. Ridiculous behavior. How about you freaking arrest the actual Pope, who I bet is protecting you-know-who? Like visitors of Epstein Island. Upon reaching the palace's main deck, she's met by a smiling old man dressed in an all-white robe.
So you're finally here. I've been waiting for you, my dear.
Look at this creep. The Pope goes up to Wendy, giving off a very welcoming exterior. What? Feeling nervous about her current predicament, Wendy attempts a smile in response to the older man's greeting.
Oh, this will not do. Someone please get these dirty cups off of her. She's a goddess and a spirit maiden, for crying out loud.
Okay, maybe he's not bad. No, I don't believe. The face tells me he's a bad guy. As Wendy is freed from her cuffs, she makes an effort to show her respect to the man in front of her by bowing her head. It is an honor to meet you, Mr. Pope, sir, your highness majesty, or something.
Oh, please don't be formal of me, chat. It's in every Pope's good nature associated with the gods of their period. Understand you've had a very hard couple of months after in your wake.
Yeah, things have been rather difficult for me. Wendy and the Pope start to walk together, with the Pope's guards not too far off. I was comatose for half a year and then spent another half a year training and fighting. I feel like my whole world was thrown upside down.
I understood. Something getting thrown into the world of gods and monsters is not an easy pill to swallow. The gravity of your situation may be falling heavily upon you, as the fate of humanity now rests on your shoulders for the foreseeable future.
Why?
One might stop to think. Is this the world the gods had intended?
Yeah. So, why did you call for me? The man in question stops his walking abruptly, setting a more serious tone.
It's good mention you've been working with Seth, am I correct?
Wendy, taken aback by the sudden change in mood, decides to answer honestly. Yeah, it's true, I spent a small amount of time with the old god Sith. But I have not been affiliated with him since I left the temple. I was stuck there for a while and he helped me get out of there.
I see. Tell me, lady, were you aware that the god known as Seth was an evil god?
Nah, I was not aware at first, but I suppose over time I did have my suspicions. Seemingly satisfied with her answer, the Pope backs off the topic for now.
Forgive me, I blame myself for Brother Michael's betrayal. I knew the church had harvested a few bad eggs.
Everyone knows that.
It's not just a few, fool. There's quite a lot of them. Greedy bastards.
But it turned out he was actually working with the enemy cult this whole time. A heretic indeed.
I'm sure a spy like him had his ways of infiltrating and climbing the ranks. I doubt there was much anyone could have done to prevent it.
Maybe. Come, my darling, there is someone I'd like you to be with before we continue our conversation.
What? Huh? Wendy is skeptical. After all, she had a rather negative impression of the type of people the Pope affiliates himself with.
Don't be worried, she's a delight indeed.
The two walk side by side, trading deeper into the Vatican's tall halls. Hope she's hot.
Tell me, my dear, is it that you were able to meet a young sister named Hibiki?
Unfortunately. Wendy looks over at the Pope upon hearing that name. Hibiki. The girl had sent her to save. She had left rather abruptly from the church's care after Veronica showed up. With all the commotion, she didn't really have the chance to say goodbye to anyone, including the mentioned Hibiki.
Yeah, I did get a chance to meet her. Why? That girl. I'm not sure what she may have expressed to you, but we both in the Egyptian sect and here the Vatican hold her in high regard.
Jesus, really? Are you sure?
Not including gods or demigods, she's the first person in thousands of years to be able to interact with the spirits.
They could have chosen better. Truly a divine and chosen individual. Ugh. One who represents faith in all its purity. Jesus Christ. Are you sure? Because if I were to run into her, my faith into humanity in general would be gone.
I was barely interested in what sort of impression she may have had on you.
A pain in the ass. That's what the kind of impression.
Impression?
Wendy goes over the postwords and thinks back to her interactions with the silver-haired girl.
Hibiki. That girl was definitely...
Say it. A pain in the ass.
A pervert.
I agree, actually.
Huh? I beg your pardon? I said she was a pervert.
I see. The Pope says, walking forward. Wendy follows suit. Wendy quietly thinks to herself how strange it was for him to bring her up. Since she's already made up her mind, she'll probably never see her again. Hopefully. He leads her to a vacant room nearby, where she's met with a single girl sitting in the room, awaiting her arrival. Oh no. Oh no. This girl's silver antenna creaks up upon her view. Oh no! Get us out of here.
What the hell?
Huh?
Why the hell is she here?
Hibiki lunges over to the blue-haired girl, which she dodges, causing the younger of the two to hit the wall face first. Yes!
Hi again, Harlibi. Chinishima, why would you move out the way? Wait, Harlibi, don't forget my name, it's Hibiki. Okay, I got it, it's Hibiki. No, now would you quit yelling?
Wendy puts a palm on her face before she begins her inner monologue.
Are you serious? I thought I got rid of this brat back in Egypt. What is she doing here?
Forgive for my intrusion, but I don't understand why seeing her makes you so upset. Cause she's annoying.
Like I said before, Hibiki is one of the church's most pristine and chaste sisters.
I would say, if anything, she's hard R.
Chaste.
Psst. Wendy looks over to her sister, who can be seen smiling right back at her.
This girl is anything but that. I can see right past that fake facade. Devoted sister my ass. I may have only shared a short time with her, but I still know the type of girl she is. A girl who hides her true intentions behind a pure disguise, but is a lustful, perverted vixen secretly. The way she talks, the way she acts, and the way I can always feel her eyes on me. It's sickening. But I suppose there's no point in rambling about any of that right now. Okay, fine, whatever. Forgive me for hiding this from you, but I had informed Veronica not to inform you that I asked to speak with both of you.
Wendy takes a seat right next to the sister, who in turn lets out a small blush. Ugh.
In case you got spoke here, so what exactly is going on? Yes, Your Holiness, why did you call out us to us? As you are aware, I hold the esteemed position of the Pope, serving as the paramount leader of the spiritual and religious hierarchy in this world. Recently, I've had the privilege of engaging in significant meetings during which I was presented with ancient scriptures and texts.
Oh boy. What are you talking about, by the way? Wait, stop. I had... No. Okay, that sounds like bullshit, by the way. Everyone knows you guys in Vatican are hiding texts from the world.
Give us the access to all of the texts, god damn it. We need it. What are you hiding?
I mean, to be fair, if they are hiding something, maybe they are actually hiding the proof that the god has abandoned humanity. I would not be surprised, to be honest. On the other hand, it's not like God is that great for humans as well. Anyway.
These documents bestowed upon me by Thoth, the deity of wisdom, contained revelations concerning a prophecy said to unfold in our era.
Alright, you did not give us a lot of information about Thoth, so I will look for it. Oh, I did look this to didn't I look this guy up already? Or maybe I didn't. I did look Ra, I believe. Yeah, it was Ra. Anywho. Deity of scribes. Thought to be one of the most important, said to be born from the skull of Seth. Also said to be born from the heart of Ra. Oh. Oh. This guy is connected to Sepho. Oi. Pope. 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 Not concerned about that at all? Thoth was considered the heart and tongue of Ra. He was also one of the one who translated Ra's will into speech. Dude, it's kind of crazy that there is a lot in general to the Egyptian gods, and some of them have not that much. In the internet information. I feel like there should be more. Maybe I'm wrong.
This prophecy foretells the emergence of a young woman unparalleled in her spiritual connection and mastery over spiritual arts. It is prophesied that she will rise, vanquish a great evil.
Well, definitely not talking about Hibiki, because she's freaking useless.
I see. So you're saying this has to do with me?
That's not the full story. The prophecy also states that this heroine would have a sister at her side.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Whoever wrote this script should get kicked in the ass.
One, who she would be intertwined with by the threads of fate. The sister will be at her side throughout her journey.
Oh my god. Wendy, you are about to go insane. I'm already going insane.
Aiding her by providing a further connection to the spirits.
Ugh.
Wait, you don't mean this asshole by my side?
I volunteer!
Go freak yourself.
I volunteer!
Whatever.
Sister Hibiki? Sorry.
Both Wendy and Hibiki, who were both staring directly at the Pope, take a moment to stare back at each other.
Anyways, you're saying this prophecy is talking about us, right?
Yeah, in fact, I'm near certain it was referring to you too.
I wouldn't be. Again, Hibiki is freaking useless.
Wendy, this era spirit goddess, one given the power of a spirit equal to Rain firepower. Hibiki, a sister of the Egyptian Orthodox Church, is someone who I've seen flourish into a young woman and whose connection with the spirits.
Not very good connection, by the way.
You two are about to adopt the spirit sisters?
Ugh. They both give weird and unamused faces at the name bestowed to them by the high-standing individual.
Spirit sisters?
The man of faith before them grips his staff and with a high amount of intensity bows his head forward.
Please, I beg you, spirit sisters! Save the world!
And I'm like, but the world is not worth saving. They say in unison, looking at the man like he was crazy. Cause he was, considering Hibiki is so useless.
Ask you, as the head of the Roman Catholic Church, please find and defeat the 7 sins?
Oh yeah, I guess they did get released, didn't they?
Your Highness, with all respect, wouldn't you prefer to have other gods better suited for this task deal with this? I'm still novice after all, I only recently became a demigod.
I mean, it's half a year, to be fair.
I agree. Yes,
Yes, my Nensama is wonderful and equal to like the likes of any comic book superhero, but the seven seas are way too powerful, hard to defeat, let alone me!
Okay. Oh. Wait, she was aware of that.
She's already defeated one.
Oh, wait, what? No, I wouldn't say that.
Michelle held the gospel with him, were able to recover it before he disappeared, but there is no mistaking it. He had succeeded in summoning the first demon of pride in the form of sandstone.
What? Nah. I don't think Sandstone was the demon of pride. Definitely not. I highly doubt someone would be able to get a demon of pride under control. A demon of pride, I would say someone who's basically under that name would never be someone who would go after the, or should I say under the, well, control of someone else. I would say basically if you're a demon of pride, you go like basically at the top of the hierarchy, sort of, not allowing anyone to be the boss, and so on. Anyway.
And you have already defeated?
The two girls stay silent.
However, you're right, and sent the old dragon gods to take down the seas. But they're all preoccupied applying their strength on other matters, not to mention they're all scattered on the opposite ends of the world right now. As you know, the seven sins are composed of the 7 acts of sin listed in the Christian Bibles. Pride, obsession with the self.
Oh my, we know this stuff.
Greed, obsession with wealth.
That is something that describes church itself, by the way. Come on. Maybe not all of it, but come on. How many churches you've seen that are clearly greedy as hell?
Anyway, last, obsession with attention.
That's Hibiki.
Sloth, obsession with avoidance.
Avoidance. I think you need to be more specific about that, to be honest.
Envy, obsession with others. Gluttony, with pleasure. Wrath, chaos. The cult of the seas was formed to fight against the order of the gods. They have been our direct opposers for centuries now. These cultists have found a way to conjure up the power of the Egyptian underworld and create stronger than average demons. These demons take the form of the 7 sins. Every time they've been defeated, they simply get summoned by the cult once again, returning stronger than before.
So, what does the spirit goddess have to do with this?
It is said in the prophecy provided to us by Thoth, the god of the knowledge, that the spirit goddess has the potential to become the strongest being in the universe, her power rivaling only the primordial deities. Since ancient days, the spirit goddess's duty was to act as a vanguard for the Egyptian Orthodox Church.
A vanguard, huh?
Yes, a divine protector, one who embodies and represents faith. Similarly to Hathor.
Hathor.
Oh, isn't this the one that was the wife of Seth? But she went with his brother eventually.
Yes, the Egyptian goddess of love and by proxy spirits.
Am I incorrect about that? I think I'm correct about that. Because we did read this, kind of. Hathor. No, I did not read this. Cow-headed. Oof. That I already don't like her then. Goddess of love with a cow head. Are you kidding me? Not a chance, man. No. She rampaged throughout the land, destroying anyone who dared to mock her father. Wow. Wow.
Was she?
Okay, Seth got wife. Who was the wife of Seth? Oh, Nephthys. It was Nephthys. That's right.
Yes, the Egyptian goddess love and by proxy spirits. She was a spirit goddess as well, one of the three great magic goddesses of the ancient Egypt.
Wait. So you want me to become Hathor?
Not in the literal sense, more of a spiritual sense, the goddess of all spirits. Hathor is what all spirit goddesses have been leading up towards. Only after reading mankind of the lecherous sins that have purged their hearts for centuries, can the demigoddess be worthy enough to enter the palace of godhood?
I see, so I'm just your lab rat then. You want to see if I can make your little prophecy come true?
It can't be like that, Onitsama. I'm sure we just aren't understanding him correctly.
Yes, she's understanding him correctly. Come on.
I mean, not to insult you, my dear, but please understand this is what centuries of our core faith have been leading up to. The purpose not only for Christianity but for all of our religions is to bring forth not a god but savior to this world, who wanted to bring peace and light to the path of eternal darkness.
Oof.
We and Nead have done so much for this world and will always be thankful for their acts of heroism, but this world needs a true savior that will rise to the call. Please ask you to take on this task for the sake of humanity, comply with our wishes, and we'll provide you as much aid as possible.
Oof. He then turns his head to Hibiki before continuing. Ugh.
Sister Hibiki?
Hi!
It is important for you to understand you have a very important role in this church's future as well. So you need to stop being freaking useless.
Me?
Yes?
Ugh.
You are a child of light, born with a flux of unimaginable spirit magic. Still not to the level of Wendy, obviously. From the moment you were born, you've been accumulating spirits into your very body. The white...
Wow, that's... Oof. And you wanted to... And you say that she's chaste. Come on, man. What a joke.
The white church dress you wear is meant to contain their power within you, so it does not consume you. With you at Wendy's side, I'm sure she'll have a better chance fighting off those demons.
Nah. What about the other demigods?
The number of demigods in this world is not as great as you may have believed. As of now, less than about 100 are roaming the air.
There are 100. Almost. Come on, man.
It may seem like a lot, but when you consider how large the world is, many of them are scattered around the globe.
Okay. You say 100... Under 100. I don't know how many exactly you mean by that, but... Wouldn't that mean that basically each one of them could cover 2 countries? Maybe 3 countries. Come on.
Not to mention that only a handful of these demigods have the offensive power to do this threat.
Pathetic.
What about Shin?
Shin?
The Paroch.
Oh, the young king.
Couldn't he help me with this whole thing? I don't know how strong these demons are, but Shin has gotten pretty strong in a short amount of time.
Yes, in terms of a savior, the people of Egypt seem to accept him as being the one to embody that role. However, we along with the rest of the church don't reside our faith in that man.
How come?
A savior for Egypt is not the same as a savior for all mankind. That is the aspect I fear his ideals may lack. I will have no problem with his assistance. After all, he was awakened by the Phoenix Spirit, the reincarnation of one of the great gods. However, there may be some altercation with that.
How so?
What about tell you stays in this room? Do you understand?
Yeah.
For this information isn't available to the public, many, if not all, of the ancient Egyptian gods had returned to the modern world. Their manifestations were witnessed by both ordinary citizens. By the way, wasn't he supposed to come with us to Vatican? I'm pretty sure he said he's coming as well. Their manifestations were witnessed by both ordinary citizens and high-ranking officials, leaving no doubt about their divine return. Following the gods' resurgence, Egypt underwent a dramatic transition from a secular republic to a sacerdotal monarchical state. The shift was driven by the gods themselves, who communicated their divine mandate to a group of influential religious leaders. These leaders, revered as the gods' chosen representatives, swiftly assumed control of the government. Oof. At the apex of this new theocratic order stood a pharaoh-like figure, believed to be directly chosen by Ra. This leader held supreme spiritual and temporal authority, unifying religious and political power in one person. I feel like he might be the final boss in the end. It might turn out like that. You know what? Childhood friend, I'm not surprised. Childhood friends are evil. That man was Tayoshin TATEGAMI. The reincarnation of the creator god Amun, an extension to Ra, the sun. After facing many trials, Tayo was able to unite the people of Egypt by saving them from a perilous crisis. He was then accepted by the people as their new pharaoh. However, around 2 decades ago, a powerful priestly class emerged, comprising high priests and priestesses dedicated to various gods. This class wielded significant political and social power and would later be called the Egyptian Orthodox Church. Tasked with interpreting the gods' will and enforcing religious laws across the nation, a divine council was established, composed of representatives from the major temples and religious institutions. Major temples were transformed into not only places of worship but also centers of political and economic power. These temples controlled vast resources and held significant influence over local governance, acting as administrative hubs in their regions. The public's reaction to these profound changes was mixed. Many embraced the return of divine rule with fervor, believing in the gods' benevolent guidance. However, some resisted, fearing the loss of personal freedoms and the concentration of power in the hands of a few. This tension between acceptance and resistance shaped the social landscape of the new Egypt, resulting in the strengthening of the cult we battle against today. With how fragile and convoluted this issue proved to be, the country of Egypt have decided to stay silent on the matter. Meaning no one outside the country knows about this resurgence of gods.
What is the story?
Damn, a lot of stuff happened while I was sleeping.
Yes. As for the rest of the world, Egypt has only begun sharing this information with the rest of the world. With the political situation Egypt is right now, I'm afraid the pharaoh will be too preoccupied to deal with this threat. He has even begun asking for the aid of other deities from other religions for assistance, like John, for example.
John? What are you talking? What? Who the hell is John?
However, the Vatican, and by extension Vatican City, is an independent state under the Holy See. We work independently from the boundaries of government and religious authority.
Which is a problem.
That is why we believe it to be best to deal with this cult matter on our own and leave Egypt and its pharaoh to his own devices.
I see.
Wendy's like,
I'd rather solo this.
Wendy stands up from her seat.
I'm sorry, Highness, but I must decline. I don't necessarily feel an obligation to give myself to the church to this extent. I've never really been religious, so I honestly just want my life back as soon as possible. I'll fight off demons if they come my way, but I have no intention of becoming some all-powerful god. I'm not sure where you got all these prophecies from, but I'm not the type to allow myself to be imposed by some predetermined fate. With that said, I'll be taking my leave. Please forgive me.
The girl bows her head, before looking over to the petite girl beside her. Ugh.
Onissimi!
Sorry, Hibiki.
She says before making her way out of the premises, leaving the Pope's presence.
Forgive for her appearance, Father. I'm sure she just needs some time to process the information.
No, why would she?
Do not be discouraged, my dear. These things have a way of working themselves out.
Well, thank you for having me in your presence, Father, but I had better return to my church as well.
Hibiki bows her head and the man before turning to leave, before the young maiden has left the room. However, the Pope spoke up once more.
Hold just a minute, my child. Before we part ways, there is still one more matter I will discuss with you concerning your church's deformation.
Huh?
As Wendy is seen walking out the corridor, she sees a familiar face in which she frowns.
Leaving so soon?
Can it, you old hack?
I mean, to be fair, for an old hack, she holds up pretty well. Wendy says, not even taking a moment to look at the Archbishop. She laughs at her vulgar response before continuing.
Oh, don't hold a grudge. Like I said, I was only doing my job to take care of yourselves now, my little birdie.
Wendy walks down the steps of the Vatican, walking towards a man who's been waiting for her outside the Vatican. This man smiles her as she comes into view.
Thanks for waiting, Sheen.
So he was around.
Of course, sorry I couldn't go in with you.
It's fine, we were pretty strict about it being a confidential meeting.
She says, smiling back at him. She takes a moment to look at the boy as he stands in front of the right. Before her is a god floating boat parked by the other cars. Boat? This boat is encrypted with old Egyptian texts and a long handle at the front.
Wow. So this is how you get around these days then?
Tayo laughs for a moment before inputting.
Oh yeah, this was actually a sunboat. It's called the Manjet. Bastetto gave it to me not too long after I ended up in Egypt, saying it was a present of some sort.
Who is Bastetto?
Bastetto. Egypt. Minus shitty freaking information from Google with transcription. Goddess of ancient Egyptian religion, possibly of Nubian origin. Worshipped as early as the 2nd dynasty. In ancient Greek religion she was known as Ailuros. I honestly never heard that name. Was worshipped in Bubastis in Lower Egypt, originally as a lioness goddess, a role shared by other deities such as Sekhmet. Eventually Bastet and Sekhmet were characterized as two aspects of the same goddess, with Sekhmet representing the powerful warrior and protector aspect, and Bastet who increasingly was depicted as a cat, representing a gentler aspect. Interesting. There is quite a bit about info about her for. Anywho.
Bastet.
Oh yeah, you haven't met her yet. I mean the god goddess Bastet, Ra's daughter and the goddess of protection.
Wendy immediately looks at the boy with a deadpan look.
Bastet, yet you called her Bastetto. Tell me, Shin, who is this girl to you? It seems like you are awfully close.
Hoo, I'm sure we can talk about that later.
Tayo aims the boat up to the sky, helping Wendy aboard, ready to set off.
Now then, it's been a while, but let's go home, Wendy.
She rolls her eyes before smiling at him.
Yeah, let's do that.
After an entire year has passed since their stories began and diverged, the two heroes will now make a trip back to the place they grew up together.
Tokyo, Japan!
And that might happen in the next chapter, I'm guessing. Yes.
So with that being said, what's on the episode?
Well, I guess the visit to Vatican was not that terrible. I expected worse. Obviously the bad part is Hibiki was around. Everyone knows she's a pain. Jesus Christ. I definitely would not want someone like that around in life. And I would say Wendy's the same. She definitely does not want to be around Hibiki. That's the ending message, really. That's the ending message. Now that I think about it, sometimes this game is like full HD and sometimes it's not. Like here it's full HD. And here it's not. It's kinda weird. But what else? What if? Alright, I mean, I guess let's end the episode and we will continue tomorrow. For, I think, yeah, I will record one more today for, but videos obviously day after day. As always, hope you enjoyed. If you did, consider liking the video, and if you're new around, consider subscribing. And if you stick around, super appreciate it. If you do stick around, the ancient gods will be on your side, I guess, maybe. I hope. Alright. Let's continue tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Bye bye.